Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for our second series of the day. You are watching the ESL Pro Tour Weekly number 26 Europe edition. I am Nathanias, and in the top left we have the red Terran player. He is souL from Makers. And his opponent, the pink Zerg player in the southeast, he is fallenger. Is that like a challenger, but in the fall? I guess it could be fallenger. Or fallenger. But what does Gur mean? Are we talking like Gur from Invader Zim? Because that Gur has two R's. I don't think he has an E in his name. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, Twitch chat or YouTube commenters. I'm under the impression that Gur's name was just GRR. And then obviously Zim's name was Zim, which was just ZIM. I could be wrong there too. I don't know. I wouldn't call myself an expert on alien spelling. Well, alien converted to English spelling, I guess, because obviously their original language probably wasn't English, so they probably had different sorts of symbols. I don't know. You're in the early matches of today's broadcast, so while I hope you have a good time, I'm going to point out the pretty obvious fact that I'm waking up. I actually did pound through my cold brew. We're good. I'm good. I had some Colombian roast. I made it into a pitcher about 3 days ago. And based on my current trajectory, it should last me about 2 weeks. If you guys haven't ever tried making cold brew at home, it's so cheap. Like if you try to buy it anywhere else, the best thing about it is that it doesn't taste bitter at all. Like hot coffee, you don't ever actually like burn the beans or like really heat them up or anything to that boiling water temperature. Obviously they get roasted at some point, but you buy like whole beans, you coarsely grind them with like a French press or any other type of grinder. Trust me, it's some of the best coffee you'll ever have. And you can make the equivalent of like $1,000 of Starbucks coffee for 15 bucks. Not joking. So this little pool first did a bit more than I was expecting it to. Unfortunately, the Reaper is across the map, kind of looking for that third base, but there was no third to be found. And instead, he finds himself losing some time. I actually don't really think he's killed too much. Actually, doesn't kill a single worker, which is absolutely insane that none of these Zerglings actually got a kill. So very well defended by souL. His natural is delayed a little bit, and his reactor was nibbled on a little bit, but he's actually totally fine. He just starts third command center. souL is a fantastic Terran player, though. I mean, he's been one of those guys that's been coming up. I remember, I don't know if he was healer or something before, but he's kind of like one of those Terrans that when we talk about European Terran talent, he started coming up a little bit before like Clem started to peak. And while many people talk about Clem as one of the best non-Korean Terrans or the best non-Korean Terran now, souL has actually been improving in his results as well. To the best of my knowledge, his results in the EPT, or excuse me, the DreamHack Summer Masters, he's been doing pretty well there. His games have been a treat to watch. And souL kind of plays all the styles. He can play bio, he can play mech, you know, he can dance, he can golf. Presumably, if he lived in the United States of America, he'd probably be able to kick a football really well. Or, yeah, that's a double entendre. Sorry. I'll try to keep it to single entendres later if I can. Now, fallenger, this third base is really late, and he's got his lair really early. I was about to say spire early because I was getting ahead of myself, but there is the spire. So he's got the spire. He's gonna need to take probably the rest of his gases, and his strategy here is going to be bully back everything with the mutts. And then that's going to prevent the Hellions from being able to do anything. And then he can get really good map control. Stim and bio will be the choice for this game. So he's not going to necessarily have like the blind side of you have no anti-air. But assuming that things go well for him, or if souL slips up in his macro, fallenger could get a lot of damage done with this. Fast Mutalisk builds have become very popular because that Spire early on also gives you a little bit of a safety valve against... Oh, Ling run by. Gives you a little bit of a safety valve against battlecruiser rushes. Not because mutas are good versus BCs, but because if you build enough mutas, you can overwhelm the BCs anyway. But more importantly, if you were to scout a battlecruiser rush while you were already building an early Spire, you could invest a lot into just corruptors and kind of like block off against the Hellions. Don't move drones to your third base. Like, keep the drones in your natural, block off with queens in an Evo chamber, and then if you want to get corruptors, you could do something dumb and just kill them. Although many players don't really like doing that because corruptors don't really hold their value in the early game. You know, having 400 minerals, 300 gas worth of corruptors does not do anywhere near as much for somebody in the first 5 minutes as a battlecruiser. But that's not what's happening in this game. So I'm just kind of talking you through all the possible things that he could have been up against. However, he didn't really get to see what was happening, which is why I'm talking about different possibilities. These Hellions are going to push the third base, but the mutas are coming out. And as we all know, Hellions don't shoot up. Theoretically, if the Hellions all shot the same spot on the ground, heat does rise. So if the Hellions could all permanently turn on their flamethrowers and shoot them under the Mutalisks, it is possible that they could give the Mutalisks third-degree burns. I don't know that they'd be able to necessarily burn the mutas, but say the mutas are flying over a tree, I don't see why Hellions wouldn't be able to just shoot the tree and light the Mutalisk on fire, you know? It kind of comes down to stuff like Mutalisks actually also propel themselves a bit with farts. And if you think about that, there's usually like methane there. So theoretically, if enough Hellions were to shoot their flamethrowers underneath a cloud of farting Mutalisks, there's no reason why you couldn't possibly ignite the lower end of the methane gas and actually cause all the Mutalisks to explode from the inside. Blizzard, feel free to pay me $700,000 a year to tell you other great ideas like this one. So the mutas are working away on the reactor. He's getting some damage done, but there's El Cijo de Tanko on the third base. I really like that he still kept those Hellions alive, didn't want to risk it. And if the siege tanks blow up those Banes, he's got to bring the mutas back. Like, he's getting damage done to souL, but he can't kill him there. He needs the mutas to help kill these siege tanks. And, oh, get the Hellions on the drones, on the drones, on the drones. Okay, he didn't get as many of the drones as I think he probably wanted, but the Zerg player is now on 2 bases, which 99% of the time means that the Zerg player is going to lose the game. Did he let the mutas fight? Oh, the mutas died. Okay. We missed that because we were watching this dead hatchery for about 20 seconds. I heard if you guys donate a lot of money, Nate will hire an observer. The Lings do surround the units that are on the retreat. I think he's going to... Well, there's no creep. I don't know. He doesn't really need to load up. Look at this fire. Oh, look at the target fire. Okay, the one Baneling that does connect is pretty nice, but... Beautiful target fire. The next wave of reinforcements is coming in. This is the difference between a top European pro and a European grandmaster. Like, fallenger is not a bad player. I probably couldn't beat him if my life depended on it. Maybe I'd get lucky because Terran's OP versus Zerg and TvZ is my best matchup. But generally speaking, I probably still wouldn't be able to beat him. But souL has absolutely devastated him. I don't have anything else to add to this. He's making 31 Banelings. Jesus. Holy sh. Oh, oh,
no! It didn't work, my friend. It didn't work.
Oh, fuck. Okay, sorry. I don't get to see that happen very often. Oh, God. All right, let's go to game 2. Let's go to game 2. It's on submarine. Oh, sorry. Is Nathan on drugs now? I just woke up. I'm just waking up. My favorite thing about Monday mornings is my favorite thing about Monday mornings is waking up to cast European StarCraft. Oh God. Wait, did they just hit the Grandmaster thing? Oh my God, guys, fallenger just got demoted out of GM. He was GM border in the last game, but it just hit 10 a.m. in Pacific time, which is when the European GM rolls over. He just got, oh shit, now I feel really bad. Oh, he just had 31 Banelings, died at 2 Widow Mines, and he got kicked out of GM. Oh well, I don't know what to say. Is the beep thing every time he swears? Yeah, I'm trying to keep the stream family friendly, but I still want to curse or pretend to curse. That's why I have the funny sound effects. It's so that you can watch this with your children, and I can use adult humor without your kids repeating what I say. If your kids run around your home screaming, honestly, it's probably not the worst thing they could be doing. Let's be real here. If you need a babysitter, just put your kid down in front of the screen, let them watch me cast, and I won't be swearing much. And that's what I got you. I'm updating the score for those guys. We just had a bunch of other casters join this lobby. Yeah. Okay. So, Lord Helix in the chat says, igniting mutifarts, new band name, I call it. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Yeah. Is he going, what? Nani? Oh, he's gonna do the 3 Ravager bust. The 3 Ravager bust. The 3 Ravager bust.
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
We are going to have... I mean, theoretically, you could do this a couple of different ways. It could just be roaches. It could be 2 Ravagers and a roach or 2. I don't know. Basically, the idea here is that by the time this roach horn finishes, you kind of squeeze out 3 Ravagers. You squeeze out 3 roaches. And then as the roaches are crossing the map, they turn into Ravagers. And then usually the Zerg player tries to just keep rallying roaches and turning them into Ravagers behind this. And this is a bop build. I really need to get the sound effects from that because I keep saying it, but I really wish I had a Stream Deck button I could press that just said bop it, like the original audio. That's what I need. If anybody could rip the audio files out of a 1990s original bop it, I don't want the new voice actor when they remade them for the nostalgia stuff. No. I want the original 1990s voice actor bop it sound effects, okay? I will not settle for anything recast. All right? No season 2 Sailor Moon stuff. I only want the original voice actors. Well, this is it. Let's see what happens. Okay, the Reaper's going to show up and see these Ravagers. That's an important scout. So now he should know that things are about to get hog wild. These 2 Lings actually almost killed this Marine, but preventing a bunker from being able to go down here, you're going to have to cancel this. I don't know. Maybe he wants to use it to soak Ravager hits. There's actually nothing here to fight. Oh, but the drones. The drone. Oh, how did the Reaper get out of there? Huh, what? Nani? How did the Reaper get out? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? I don't know. Okay, so he canceled the natural. But here's the Ravagers. He might just kill souL here. I think the bunker will finish, but he's going to kill a lot of SCVs trying to save this. Oh, he missed that one. There's only 2 Marines in this bunker, and they were shooting a roach. He does get the cancel on that one. I think it's really important to have your bunkers target fire down the Ravagers. Like, these Ravagers are just so up the ramp. Okay, that bunker's going to die anyway. I think you want to make another Ravager. Make a couple Ravagers. Breh. I don't know what... Oh, my God. This series has just been something else. Okay, gets the one Ravager. He's trying to deny the other one. He does not. Of course, if a roach has 1 health and then you put it into an egg, as long as it can complete the transformation into a beautiful butterfly, it will get all of its hit points back. This also works in real life. If you cut a caterpillar in half and it manages to go into a cocoon, it will come out a completely healthy butterfly showing no side effects from the original being cut in half. Please don't torture insects or wild animals. That was what we call a May-May. So he's gonna try and get this next depot, but he's gotta dance. Let's see, Cyclone. You gotta be careful. Should move the body like a cyclone. Always going to try and get the Overlord there to deny the high ground vision. That's probably one of the best things that you can do in this situation. Typically, I like just trying to rush up to like 2 or 3 siege tanks and then go into BCs, but a handful of Cyclones can deal with this type of build very well. And here's the problem. This build for Zerg, I think, is probably one of the worst builds. But if the Terran is completely caught off guard by it, then you can usually you can clap some pretty hard cheeks. But the biggest issue right now is that despite all the damage he's done, and I'm gonna tell you, he's killed 8 SCVs, denied the natural, killed a bunch of depots, killed a couple bunkers and Marines. But here's the issue. Oh, that Ravager just walked straight in. Here's the issue. 12 drones. GG. souL wins 2-0.